Welcome to TTM Cast, your sports collectibles podcast. TTM Cast is brought to you by Wanna Shuffle, the free monthly autograph trading service. Also supported by sportscollectorsdaily.com. If it happens in the hobby, you'll find it on sportscollectorsdaily.com. And sponsored by gemrate.com. The latest grading statistics from the 4 major grading companies are just a click away. Visit gemrate.com. It's free. And now, here's our host, Drew Pelto.
Hello, everybody. We're coming to you once again here with TTM Cast, your sports collectibles podcast. It's a place where we talk TTM, cards, autographs, collecting, and a whole lot more. We're at season number 8, episode number 12 here on June 20th. We are a month away from the start of our road trip. We're coming to you with all sorts of stuff from that. Coming up in a month, we're going to be talking a lot about that in our next couple of episodes there as well. Talking a lot of stuff about the National coming up soon, especially starting today with our Collector's Corner segment. We'll get to that here in a moment on this nationally ranked Sports Collectibles podcast. I am Drew Pelto, coming to you here from Arlington, Texas, joined by Aaron Littleton. Aaron, good to have you on here. We got to go do a little graphing last night, actually.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of burning the candle a little bit at both ends, you know. Yeah, I mean, I didn't get home last night until almost 2:00 in the morning, and yeah, but I'm always eternally ready to go. So let's have a great show today.
Yeah, I obviously I got home a little bit earlier, but then had to do some stuff with my Panini album, which I'm going to be talking about here in a bit there, since we had a big trade event among Panini employees. I've probably mentioned before on here several times that I work with Panini in the photo department there. So we had a big get together with the entire company yesterday and got to do a little sticker trading. So my album is coming along quite nicely, which I'll get to that here in a minute as well. Because first, we've got a lot of sports news going on here over the last couple of weeks here. Of course, I mean, we're in the middle of MLB season and All-Star voting is underway. My Guardian's very underwhelming so far. Aaron, have you put in any ballots at all for the All-Star game, or just going to kind of let the chips fall where they may with it?
I have not, to answer your question, I have not put any ballots in yet. There are very few Rangers that are deserving, unfortunately. Yeah. I'd like to see Ezekiel Duran get in. He's been pretty good, whether that'll happen or not. The other one who may have a shot is Josh Young. Both of those guys are having pretty good seasons so far. Maybe I'll cast a ballot here pretty soon, but we'll see what happens.
Young's going to get helped by the fact that Jose Ramirez is out for a few weeks there, so he won't be seeing him in another All-Star appearance unless he gets voted in and then replaced. But I don't even think that's happening. I don't think he might be like third place among third basemen right now. It's like, yikes. That's still the most underappreciated star in baseball as far as I'm concerned, Jose Ramirez. So.
And I would agree.
Elsewhere in sports, of course, we've got the New York Knicks, the NBA champs for the first time in over 50 years. I think it was 54 years, something like that was the last time they did it. So good on them. I mean, I don't like a whole lot of New York teams, but I got nothing against the Knicks, basically. So it's like, hey, good for them to finally get themselves a championship there. Jalen Brunson, of course, with the huge playoff run there. So good to see that, though. I know the Mavericks fans out there are like, yep, could have had him, should still have him, and nope. But you got to appreciate, though, I mean, his game and everything. So.
Oh, for sure. You know, I mean, he showed up. Wemby showed up a little bit less, you know, for the Spurs. And, but I mean, congrats to him. Congrats to the Knicks. It's kind of like Bizarro World. Most of my life, even as a kid, the Knicks were kind of the laughing stock of the NBA. You know, they fielded a lot of less than competitive teams in my lifetime. But yeah, good on them. It's always good to see, you know, somebody else win.
I mean, they had their chances in the early 90s there too. It's just, I mean, you run into, you know, the so-called team of the 90s that the Cavs were supposed to be. You run into the Bulls, who were the team in the 90s, and it's like, it doesn't matter how good you are, you're going to lose to one of those two in the playoffs, it seemed like there, and that's what happened every year, despite, you know, the Ewing, Oakley, Starks, and Jackson lineups that they had there. But, hey, good to see them finally dig out of the rut there. And meanwhile, over on the ice, the Carolina Hurricanes beating the Vegas Golden Knights for the Stanley Cup, which I think 90% of the hockey world is happy about that. I think I know 2 legitimate Vegas fans total in my entire life. So definitely happy to see Carolina get that over Vegas there.
Yeah, I wish I would have got to watch more of that series. Things have been kind of crazy in my life the last little bit. But yeah, congratulations to the Hurricanes. Another non-traditional hockey market winning another cup. So I think that's only good for the sport,
Yeah, I have my issues with some of those markets, but I mean, Carolina at least has now been around for 30 years. It's like, all right, fine. I'll reluctantly say okay to that. I'm still mad about them screwing over Hartford as bad as they did, 30 years ago. But hey, if it keeps it out of Vegas's hands, I'll take it then. That's the big thing for me, at least. Meanwhile, moving back outdoors from a 2 indoor sports, the World Cup going on right now. We're moving into the second series of games in the group stages there. Team USA, the big surprise so far, I got to say. I mean, I expected them to go, 2-0 through these first 2 games, but to win both by multi-goal margins, I think they had said I was listening to the Ticket the other day, that before this year, they had a whole 1 game ever that they had won by multiple goals. So it's like, wow, that's kind of cool to see. They're finally got 2 in a row here and a chance to take on Turkey now next. And I'm not sure, did U.S. completely clinch outright the championship or the win? Okay, they've outright. My wife has confirmed that, yeah, they clinched the outright winning of the group there with that victory. So kind of renders the Turkey game moot a bit there, but still it could be kind of nice to go, 3-0 in the group stage there, as they have just the 1 more left after this.
Winning is always good,
Yeah.
So if you can win, obviously that's a preferable option. Yesterday, I had a little bit of time to kill, so I went over to the Cowboys' new training facility that is about 2 or 3 miles from where we normally graph at the ballpark in Frisco, and I unwittingly wandered into a watch party that they were having for the Team USA game. I didn't even know it was on. But yeah, and they're just hundreds of people outside. And I was like, what is going on there? The Cowboys aren't here. It's in the middle of the summer, and there's just hundreds of people out there in Team USA jerseys watching the game and celebrating eventually when they won. And so it's I know that soccer, is kind of like a distant sport in the United States, mostly, behind baseball, basketball, football, all of that stuff. But there were tons of people out, and I know there are a lot of people excited about the World Cup, especially here. So it's good to see soccer having a little bit of momentum in the United States.
Definitely is. I mean, I'll take like you've said, I'll take just about any sport that I can get on the TV. And I mean, with soccer being so huge worldwide, it's finally coming around here. It's having its moment here in the U.S. a bit here over the last few years. And I mean, the 94 World Cup did a lot to push it forward. Now you've got the 2026 World Cup that I think you might see another renaissance of it here for a bit. And I'm hoping that that kind of continues here. Did a little graphing, like we said earlier on, it's Arkansas and Frisco. I know, Aaron, you've got that in your segment there. I'll let you go ahead and take that one, but I will mention that Cleburne and Kansas City, I saw them just 2 days ago on Thursday. Our friend Chris and I went down there. So quick recap on them. Kansas City Monarchs, usually one of the teams that gets in a lot of former major league guys, higher minor league guys, all those that'll come in. And even Cleburne now, the last couple of years, has gotten several as well. So had a pretty good day out there. Got Nick Martini, who had just recently been picked up by Kansas City. Super nice guy. I'd gotten him in person with Cincinnati at spring training a couple times. So he signed 4 cards for me. Hudson Head, who I believe we may have gotten on our 2022 road trip there, signed 2 cards that I had of him. Austin Hansen, who you may remember we saw with the Mexican League team last year that came in, he signed 1 card that I had left. Cody Thomas, former member of the A's organization, I think got up with the A's actually, signed 2 cards for me as well. Malik Smith, former member of the Rays, the Mariners, probably a couple other teams in there, signed 4 cards I had of him. Delino DeShields, as great as he has ever been, formerly of the Rangers and the, I believe, Indians before they changed to the Guardians. There may have been the Guardians there as well, but signed everything I had. He will sign whatever you bring pretty much with you. And Cole Foster, former Giants prospect, signed the 2 cards that I had of him. So very nice day there among those teams. Unfortunately, didn't get the chance at either Jay Groom or Durbin Feltman. Didn't see either of them. They may have come out late. And I didn't see Pete Incaviglia either. He may have stayed back in the clubhouse. It was the hottest day of the year so far down here. So I wouldn't blame any of them for trying to stick back in the shade there for a little bit extra if they can. So unfortunately, didn't see them, but should hopefully have some chance. I mean, we're going to see the Monarchs on the road there in Kansas City on our upcoming trips. So have a chance at least at Feltman and Groom out there. And obviously, Inky has been around forever here in Texas. So, yeah, should have a few more chances at him as well. That's all the news stuff, I guess, there. I forgot to mention I've got my own pickups there. We've got Aaron's pickups, all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and check those out first. But I picked up a 2026 Top Series 2 set off eBay. It was a not quite complete set. It was missing 5 cards, and they're all commons. I can grab them off Sport Lots, I'm sure, for $1 each. So being able to knock like 20, 30 bucks off the price, but to get one that's 5 cards short, that's kind of a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. So that looks like it's going to be delivered today. I'll have that in time for our trip and everything for anybody that's going to be in, that we'll see in AAA or in the majors. Bought another Panini sticker box. I mentioned, we had a big employee trading event and just hang out and watch party thing going on there. And through all of that, I am now over 70% done with my sticker album at this point. There's 992 stickers that I'm going to need to finish it off. I'm at 707 of them right now. I've got some dupes to trade here as well. I'm hopefully might have a chance to swing by another public trading event here later on today. So we'll see if I can complete a little bit more of that today. Road trip prep. I've got all of my cards of players pulled so far. I need to get all the coaches pulled yet. And then go on Sport Lots to buy anything else that I need. But that's coming along. I'm finally getting in the groove on that. Just got to make my books for that as well, which I should be able to knock that out pretty quick, I'm hoping. So that's where I'm at over the last couple of weeks. Aaron, go ahead and give us what you've got. What have you been up to?
Well, unfortunately, as far as the hobby is concerned, it's been pretty quiet for me. I do have one major thing that I'm not yet going to announce because I'm not trying to jinx it. I just need to make sure it shows up. So I'll have a major thing next show, hopefully, because it's supposed to show up tomorrow. But yeah, I'm still working on getting all my stuff ready for the national, and for me that means figuring out what I already have, because the national, there are a cajillion cards. You never know what you're going to find. You never know. You may have that one card for the set that shows up. That you find, and if you don't know that you need that card, it's really hard to get it, and you may not get another chance. And so I have the FOMO, as the kids say, fear of missing out on a card that I need because I don't know that I need it. And so I'm spending all of this time, trying to get everything to a place where everything is cataloged. In my everyday life, I don't normally have time to do that, and so there's always a rush before we go on the national trip, so that I can make sure I've got all my stuff where it needs to go. And so I'm currently in the middle of that in my free time when I'm not working in 2 different cities. So it's been a little bit of a hectic summer. I'm hoping to get on some more TTMs here pretty soon. I need to get on that. It's been a little bit of a drought for me recently, but yeah, and we'll get to that later. But yeah, time has definitely been at a premium the last couple months. But yeah, so yeah, you mentioned we did Frisco and the Arkansas Travelers, which is the Rangers and Seattle Mariners AA respectively, and that happened last night. Man, Arkansas is pretty tough. I mean, a lot of the guys on those teams, not the hugest fans of signing. Lazaro Montez wouldn't even look at us. Michael Arroyo told us that he would sign after the game and lied to us and wouldn't even look over afterwards. And, Kate Anderson, who's probably one of their biggest prospects, kids only, wouldn't even, entertain signing for an adult. So, Ryan Sloan also told us he would sign, did not. So yeah, it's kind of a rough day at the office yesterday as far as getting Mariners prospects, but we did get a few. Teddy McGraw was great. We did end up getting Sundstrom. He signed one for us. But yeah, there's a lot of guys on that team that don't necessarily like to sign. But Frisco, we did pretty well with. We ended up getting Winston Santos, who's one of the Rangers' top 30 guys. Another guy who can be a little bit rough to get, but he did sign for us last night. And Dylan Dreiling, who is probably the Rangers' second current highest prospect in Frisco, because just called up Malcolm Moore, and he was phenomenal. So yeah, he's very highly rated in the Ranger system. So it was nice to get him. Yeah, and so we had a day yesterday. We did some stuff. It was a little bit of a hard row sometimes, but any day graphing beats a day at work, all day, every day. So,
absolutely
not much complaining can be done.
Yeah, definitely. A couple of warnings for anyone out there who's going for either of those teams. For Arkansas, we mentioned Sundstrom signing one per. With us, he grabbed one pen and ran with it, and then literally dropped it in the middle of my book when he got done. So beware of that possibility out of him. And Malcolm Moore, like you said, nice guy, but very small sig. It's basically going to be a very tiny MM on whatever you've got, but hey, he does it. And it's consistent. So that's all all anyone can really ask of him. So, well, coming up here this week's show, we have Collector's Corner. We're joined by Wade Bute, who was on the show back in December. Comes back, talk a little bit more about some of his recent TTMs and some of the tough ones that he's gotten back in, as well as stuff for the National. He's going to be out there and at the show. He's said he's going to be at the TTM Cast listener party as well. So come on down, hang out with us, meet Wade, see if he's got some stuff that might help out your collection. Maybe you've got something that'll help out his collection. Good way to connect. Meanwhile, we have all of our regular segments here this week. We've got Baker's Dozen to start things off, talking about all the upcoming signings and hobby news and some card releases as well. Hobby Happenings, we're going to cover all of the upcoming shows that are taking place all around the country. We'll then go into Collector's Corner with Wade before we hit up Making the Grade, covering everything in the world of grading here in our hobby, including the Big Three. We also get the TTM Cast stamp for approval, giving our thumbs up to something from the previous week. Sometimes sports collectibles related, sometimes it's not. We have the Vern Rapp Minute, covering deaths in the world of sports, celebrity, music, movies, and politics. Anybody that you might be writing to, we will let you know if they have passed away. And the main reason why the show exists, we finish out with our TTM returns. If you'd like to get a hold of us, Aaron, what is the email address here for this show?
That is ttmcast@yahoo.com.
So any questions, any comments, anything like that, feel free to get a hold of us out there. If you'd like to get to one of us directly, you can find me on my website at dfwgrapher.com. Email address is dfwgrapher@gmail.com. And you can find me on most social media at dfwgrapher. Aaron, where can all of the people follow you at?
What I just thought before I do the social thing is that those people who are going for the National, especially the ones who have tickets to the VIP signers, it should be noted that I know that we had talked about that they took off Gary Babin,
Yes.
the former Cy Young, goodness, boy, it's morning. Bear with me.
Yeah.
The Heisman winner. For UCLA, I believe. They had taken him off the list. Well, now they have added NBA or Basketball Hall of Famer and WNBA Supernova Cheryl Swoops to the VIP signing list, and I'm pumped about that. I used to watch a ton of Houston Comets games when it was on NBA on NBC in the late 90s. And yeah, she was phenomenal. And so I was a huge Houston Comets fan. So I'm pretty pumped about the opportunity to meet her, but just note that part has been changed. If you have tickets for the VIP signers, be ready to get Cheryl Swoops, because it looks like she'll be there in Chicago. And yes, you can find me mostly on Instagram. It is Aaron's Sports Card Explosion. I'm finally not a liar, because I've been saying that I have been I'm going to be posting my Michael Young stuff, and it just hasn't rolled out yet. But this week, I finally started posting some of my new Michael Young stuff. That is going to continue as I have time to do that. So check it out. I've got some really cool stuff that's going to be posted here pretty soon. And if you're interested in checking out the shenanigans that are definitely going to be afoot when me and Drew hit the road here in about a month, you can check out the Eternal Graphing Tour. It has underscores in between each one of those words, and that is my quest to visit every affiliated ballpark in the United States and Canada. I am at 94 ballparks currently, so God willing, hopefully everything goes tremendous for us on this trip, and I will be able to get over 100 ballparks, and we're gonna do some fun stuff. Send in your players so Drew can tell you off the top of his head who they played for. That's gonna be a fun little game that we're gonna play. But yeah, so it's gonna be great. You can follow us there, and please do so.
All right, there you go. So with that, let's go ahead and jump on in to Baker's Dozen.
Baker's Dozen, sponsored by SportsCollectorsDaily.com.
Smart collectors turn to Sports Collectors Daily to stay up to date. From new releases to incredible collections hitting the auction block, news from inside the business of sports collectibles, and much more, Sports Collectors Daily has it, all with no subscription cost. SC Daily also delivers a live look at the most watched sports card auctions on eBay for every sport. Sign up to get the headlines in your email for free, or just visit the website whenever you like. With 16,000 stories in the archive going back 16 years, there is always plenty to read at SportsCollectorsDaily.com.
Baker's Dozen is a summary of news stories around the hobby. Mostly it's talk about some upcoming releases and some upcoming signings that are taking place. I want to remind you, of course, I do write a bi-weekly article approximately on sportscollectorsdaily.com. Go and check them out every day, though, for all the great hobby news that they cover. I usually talk about any TTMs that come in, any in-person outings, anything like that, and usually some other autograph topics as well. So make sure you check them out at sportscollectorsdaily.com. Also, the TTM Cast store. Get yourself a t-shirt, a hat, a sweatshirt, something like that. We got all sorts of great stuff on there. TTMcast.com. Check the top banner off to the right side, and you'll find the link to go over there. As a reminder, we're also looking for sponsors still here for the show. If anybody knows any hobby-related companies that would be interested in getting on board here with us, have them get a hold of us. Aaron, what's that email address for the show once again?
TTMcast@yahoo.com.
Contact Ruthie there. She handles all the business side of stuff and all of our production work. And yeah, we can get you squared away with a possible sponsorship here of this show. Get your name out there. All that fun stuff. Well, you may remember last episode we had a giveaway of some autographs. There's going to be at least 10 random signed cards, and that I would add one for every 3 entries that we get. Well, I'm going to change that. I'm going to make it 1 for every 2 entries we get, because we got 11 of them in here. So we're going to put in 5 instead of the 3 that would have gone in with that. So 15 autograph cards are going to go out to a winner here. I've got random.org loaded right now with all 11 names. Aaron, give me a number between 1 and 10, and I will randomize it that many times.
All right. In honor of the great Yvonne Rodriguez, how about 7?
We'll go 7 times. All right, I'm going to hit the randomize button 7 times here. We've got 1. We've got 2. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And in the top spot, congratulations to our winner, Scott Summers. So, Scott, we'll get a hold of you here this week to get your name and address and all that good stuff. And, well, we've got your name. We'll need your address, though, and you may have even sent in the initial email. I'll get with Ruthie about that at least. We'll figure out, what 15 we'll be sending to you here. And, yeah, hopefully have something that can help out your collection there. So let me put this down in my notes here. There we go. All right. I want to remind you also, if you want to get yourself a signed TTM Cast card, we actually signed one for a fan last night out of the Frisco game. Make sure you send us a self-addressed stamped envelope, and we'll get one out to you. Send that to to Drew Pelto at P.O. Box 140421, Irving, Texas 75014. So, yeah, get yourself a copy of that if you want one, if you haven't gotten one yet. And even if you have gotten one, all right, well, we'll send out multiples if you really need them. And one last thing, because we talked to Wade about this in Collector's Corner. We'll give you the preview right now, and we'll be talking about here in the next episode as well. We can finally start taking some RSVPs on this for our TTM Cast meetup at the National. It's going to be taking place on Thursday evening of the National Sports Collectors Convention in Chicago. We're going to meet up over at Giordano's. They're at 9415 Higgins Road. That is just outside the convention center there that the National will be at. So come on down, hang out with us here with your TTM Cast crew. I know Clemente is going to be there. I think Les will probably be there as well. We talked to Wade in Collector's Corner. He's going to stop by and everything. So any listeners that are going to be at the National, stop on in, have dinner with us. We won't be able to pick up the bill for you, unfortunately, but still, come on down, have some pizza there at Giordano's, and they've got Italian beef sandwiches there too, all sorts of great stuff. So check them out with us. Come on down. We'll talk sports. We'll talk whatever's on our minds there. Once again, that is Giordano's during the Thursday of the National. We'll be meeting up probably about 6:30 or so in the evening for that. Let's take a look at some upcoming releases. We got a few to talk about here. Not a whole ton taking place here, but got I think 5 on the list here that we'll talk about, starting with some hockey. We've got the 2025-26 Upper Deck SP Authentic Hockey set is coming out on June the 24th. In there, you're going to see 9 cards per pack with 10 packs per box, 90 cards total right there. 2 autographs and 27 inserts across that box. Pre-sale price, it's going to run you $350.
And then we also have the 2025-2026 Panini Origins EuroLeague product that's going to be coming out on June the 26th. In that, you will get 6 cards per pack. You'll get 6 packs per box. And there are 3 parallels and 5 inserts per box. So the pre-sale price for that is $50.
It's a product I worked on a little bit there, so please definitely buy that one. 2025-26 Upper Deck Parkhurst Hockey will be coming out here on July the 2nd. 8 cards per pack, 16 packs per box. That is math. Don't feel like doing it. 1 autograph and 46 inserts or parallels in those boxes. So a lot of extra stuff besides just the base set in there. Pre-sale price, that's going to run you $250.
I think that's the first math problem I've ever seen you shy away from.
It's 128. I just caught myself going way too fast, and I'm like, math, screw it. I don't feel like it. So
I was gonna say normally that's your favorite thing is to show off, show off your quick mathing abilities.
Yes.
And also, yes, please buy all the products that Drew worked on. Okay, we need to keep him having a job. I'm sure Jen would agree.
Yes.
We also have the 2025-2026 Upper Deck CHL that is going to be dropping on July the 2nd. And in that product, you will get 6 cards per pack. You'll get 16 packs per box, 1 autograph, and 47 inserts and or parallels per box. And the pre-sale price for that is $95.
Lastly, some baseball coming out as on July the 3rd. We're going to have Donruss Elite Baseball coming out. 5 cards per pack, 16 packs per box. That, I can tell you, is 80 cards. You also get 2 autographs. There's 20 inserts or parallels in each of those boxes. Not too bad right there. Pre-sale price, $250. Well, we have a lot of upcoming signings here coming up in the end of July, so give you a little bit of a heads up on that. A lot of stuff going on with the National as well. I know a lot of people are taking mail-ins for that if you can't make it out to the show. We are not taking mail-ins, however, for that. We're going to be busy working on our own stuff enough there. So, but we've got several names that we talk about a lot on here. Doug Barnes, who actually has been a guest on the show a couple times, big Topps Heritage collector. You can find him on sportscollectors.net as Dugout Doug. And on July 17th, he's going to have Greg Nettles doing a signing with him. $18 item on that. So once again, SCN, Dugout Doug is the name for that one.
And Legends 131 is going to have Dave Collins signing for them on July the 17th. That signing starts at $14. And you can check them out also on SCN under NCC 500.
Signatures for You. We've mentioned them quite a few times. You can find them on Facebook or on SCN as Signatures, the number 4, letter U. July 18th, they're going to have Buck Martinez in for a signing. Of course, the former Blue Jays catcher, Blue Jays manager, played for the Royals, ESPN guru of all things baseball at times too. So if you need him on something, only $12 to get him. Once again, that is Signatures, the number 4, the letter U on Facebook and SCN.
It isn't TTM cast unless Drew gives me a humongous read in the middle of this.
Oh, please, just wait, because you're going to see the long one that I get later on. So, yeah.
Right. And so that's what I said. I was going to say that.
Oh, okay.
That about a humongous read, and then I saw the one that you have. So, just to be fair, Drew did give himself a bigger read than this one. But Jim Falbo is going to have bunches of people. And so bear with me as I go through this. On July the 18th, he's going to have former Ranger great, just kidding, Phil Maton, and also former Cardinals hurler Bud Smith signing. And both of those signings start at $15 per item. The very next day, on July the 19th, he's going to have Gary Templeton, also starting at $15 per item. The day after that, he's going to have former Tampa Bay Ray and Boston Red Sox Johnny Gomes, will be signing for him for $20 per item. And on July the 25th, he's going to have Todd Benzinger signing for the very low price of $10 per item. It's always good to see those $10 ones. And he'll have a couple Cardinals on the 26th, on July the 26th, Pedro Pajes, who was kind enough to sign for us in Frisco. And also Matthew Liberatore will be signing for $25 per item. For him on the 26th. And lastly, he's got Ty Lawson, who will be signing on July 31st. That signing also $10 per item. And for more information about that, you can check out wildersideofsports.com.
Carl's Cards. You can find them at carlscards.com. They'll have Ricky Bottalico coming in on July the 18th. All of those start at $15 an item. Once again, carlscards.com.
I like the alliteration there. Carl's Cards.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have Ryan Batke will have Mike Fetters. He, the Intimidator himself. I used to love the face, Mm-hmm. We'll have Mike Fetters signing for him on July the 18th. That signing starts at $15 per item. And for more information about that, you can check out silverbacksports.com.
Jamie Bly, you can find him on sportscollectors.net under the name Jamie Bly, Blye. On July 18th as well, he's going to have Russ Ortiz, former hurler of the, most notably, I would say, as the Giants there. $15 an item for him. Once again, Jamie Bly, Jamie Blye on SCN.
Guy Puglia is going to have Jason Thompson signing for him on July the 18th. Which Jason Thompson, you ask? Well, that would be the first baseman, I'm here to tell you. And that signing will start at $20 per item. For more information about that, you can check out sportscornersignings.com.
Billy Rowe has a big list coming in. This one we were kind of teasing earlier there. These are all taking place on July 19th. You can find him, by the way, on SCN as the screen name LV Graffer, as in Lehigh Valley, I believe, as he's in Pennsylvania. So for $20 each, they're going to have Fergie Jenkins and Jamie Moyer. That is the best price I've seen on Jenkins in a bit. And I think even Moyer has been like $25 lately. So save a few bucks by going through Billy Rowe on those guys. For $15 an item, they're going to have Rafael Santana, Danny Jackson, and Jay Baller signing. Neil Allen is going to be signing for $12. At $10 each, you've got Jody Davis, Al Woods, Jack Fisher, Steve Jeltz, Wayne Garrett, Bill North, and Jim the Emu Kern. If you want to save a buck and get it for $9, you can get Rich Rodriguez, former pitcher, I believe, with the Indians and the Padres. And I'm not sure if he was also the one with the A's or not. I know there have been a few Rich Rodriguez's that are pitchers in there. So might want to check and make sure if you need him. So make sure you're getting the right one. For $8, you're going to have former Ranger and former Indian and former Brave, maybe a couple other teams there. Oddibe McDowell. $8 an item on him, but he will not be signing any Indians cards. So if you need him on Tribe stuff, you're out of luck. And finally, for $5 each there, they will have Ray Burris, Jack Kuchek, Dave Lemanchik, Randy McGilbury, Matt McBride, and Ralph Citarella. So a few guys that are in a bunch of 80s stuff, they're not even 70s stuff. They're with Ray Burris and Lemanchik. So if you need any of them, once again, Billy Rowe is on SCN, sportscollectors.net, as LV Graffer.
Then Michael Terrell is going to have Daniel Hudson, former Diamondback and White Sox. That's all I got. I will not be playing the game where I name all the teams because I can do a couple and that's it. But he'll be having Daniel Hudson on July the 20th for starting at $15 per item. He will have the very next day on July the 21st. He will have Chris Davis with the K, Ranger Killer, former Oakland Athletic and Ranger. Very, very underperformed Ranger career after dominating them for most of the rest of the beginning part of his career. $18 an item, so not a bad price for a pretty prominent player here of the last 20 years or so. And on July the 22nd, they will have also former Ranger killer Mitch Haniger signing for $15 per item. So if you just really hate the Rangers, this is a good time to get on some signings. And for more information about that, you can check out perrysportslegends.com.
I might have to get in on that because I know I need Haniger for a set, and I think Davis is in 21 Heritage there as well, and Hudson might be too. I'm going to have to dig into that a little bit, but I know I missed Haniger at spring training, so 15, not too bad. John Byerman, made a couple trades with him. He's on SCN as Jay Byerman, Beiermann. Going to have former Giants prospect Jairo Pomares coming in there on the 22nd of July. Only $5 an item for him. So if you need him for any sets or anything like that, great time to be able to get him.
And then we have Jeff Fedorko, who's going to have LaSalle Thompson signing for him on July the 24th. That signing starts at $12 per item, and you can check out Double J Cards Collectibles on Instagram for more information.
Todd Schaefer of Under the Radar Sports is going to have Bill Lee in for a signing on the 25th of July, $15 an item there. Lee, obviously a great signer by mail, but if you need him on, a slightly more premium item or want to get something really specific on it, go through Todd for that. UnderTheRadarSports.net is the place to find out more about that Bill Lee signing.
And then we have Doug Keating, who's going to have Mike Rimlinger signing for him. I believe Atlanta Braves, Chicago Cub. He's going to have him signing on July the 25th for $10 per item. And for more information about that, you can check out cardboardpromotions.com.
Autographs Inc. right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area is going to have 3 guys in on July 25th as well. You can find them on Facebook at Autographs Inc., INK. And those 3 signers, $8 each, are going to have Kelvin Garman, former offensive lineman for the Cowboys and the Browns. Maybe a couple other teams in there. Kansas City, I want to say, but at least the Cowboys and Browns, I know. They'll also have Kelvin Edwards, and they'll have former Rangers pitcher and current Rangers broadcaster on their Spanish feed, former Cub as well, Jose Guzman. Once again, $8 each. Autographs Inc., INK on Facebook.
And Smith's Cards is going to have a couple former major leaguers signing for them on July the 27th. Former Twin Brian Dozier will be signing for them starting at $25 per item. And former Pittsburgh Pirate and probably some other teams, but I remember mostly as a Pirate, Paul Maholm will be signing for $20 an item. And for more information about that, you can check out smithscards.com.
And lastly, we've got Dana Dominion. You can find him on Facebook at DEB Sports. You're going to have Lou Collier coming in. I believe I didn't write the date on this down. I believe it's going to be July 28th, though, if I remember right. I know it's going to be late July at the very least, but Lou Collier going to be signing there for $10 an item. So once again, to get the exact date on that, go on SCN, look up Lou Collier, or just go to Facebook on DEB Sports to find out all about those signings from Dana Dominion. If you want to find more info about a lot of these signings, go check out sportscollectors.net. You can find a lot of other signings that are on the more expensive side there as well. We try to keep it just to promoting the ones that are $25 or less at their starting price. But if you got a little bit more money to spend, go and see what you can get there at sportscollectors.net. Next up, it's time for Hobby Happenings.
You heard that right. It's time for Hobby Happenings. Hobby Happenings is proudly sponsored by Wanna Shuffle, the free monthly autograph trading service. For more information, check out Wanna Shuffle on Instagram, Facebook, or at wannashuffle.com.
Quick look at everything for Wanna Shuffle here to start out Hobby Happenings. We don't have Belinda on this month, but had a great talk with her on our last episode. So if you haven't given that a listen, make sure you go back to our previous one, episode number 11, and you can hear from her. She's got a Card Life mug to give away this month as a bonus gift for one of the shufflers. I just sent mine in the other week. So I mentioned last time, too, that it's going to be a 1960s card that'll be in there. So a little vintage getting tossed in there. So make sure you're following Wanna Shuffle on Instagram. That's Wanna_Shuffle. You can also follow Belinda's Facebook page there at Wanna Shuffle. And, of course, the website for Wanna Shuffle is at wannashuffle.com. To send in your submissions for this month's shuffle trade here, you got about a week or so left to get those in. Send to Wanna Shuffle at P.O. Box 68, Cordova, South Carolina, 29039. Let's take a look at some upcoming shows. We've got a bunch going on in late June. Well, maybe not a bunch. We've got 3 going on because I think everyone's starting to gear up for, the holidays there with July 4th being right around the corner there. World Cup has people keeping busy. And, of course, the National is only a month away. So only 3 shows to talk about here, starting with the Northeast Sports Expo. That's going to be taking place on June 26th through the 28th at the Four Kicks Sports Complex in Marlborough, Massachusetts. Admission to that show is going to be $20. They're going to have 37 autograph signers there, including Dana Barros and Ken Linseman. So if you need either of them, that's a great time to get them. And if you want to find out more about those other 35 signers they're going to have there, go to northeastsportscardexpo.com.
And then we have the Wisconsin Card and Auto Show. That would be autographs, I'm assuming, and not cars. That would be very interesting. And that will be going on June the 27th and 28th at the Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee. We will be in Milwaukee, Drew, here pretty soon. But yes, the Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee, admission there is $15, and they will have 10 signers, including Sal Frelick of the Milwaukee Brewers and Jordy Nelson, former Packers great. And for more information about that, you can check out wisconsincardshow.com.
And lastly, on June the 27th, we have the Tri-State Sioux-tacular show. Yes, that's right, Sioux-tacular, because it's in Sioux City, Iowa. Gotta love the name puns there. It'll be at the Sioux City, Iowa Convention Center. Admission to that show, only $5. They're going to have a couple of college players signing out there. Monica Sinano and Price Sandford, both signing there. For more information, find them on Facebook at Tri-State Sioux-tacular, SIOUX-tacular Card Show. Don't forget, a lot of these shows that are taking place offer mail-in signings, so visit cravetheauto.com for more upcoming shows and signings taking place all over the country. Next up, it's time for Collector's Corner.
And now, it's time for Collector's Corner. Let's hear from our collector this week.
Well, this week I talked to Wade Bute, as I said in our intro, a collector from up in Wisconsin. We'll be seeing him at the National, and this is the second time on the show. We had him on back in December, so I figured, hey, let's follow up with him right before the National, find out what for out there, find out how his mailboxes looked. And so, with that, here's Wade. Wade, first off, great to have you back on here. I think you're the first 2-time appearer of the Collector's Corner segment here since I've taken the show over.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate it. I'm excited to come back on. Obviously, we've traded some emails, excited about the upcoming National. And for me, I haven't been in 33 years. So from the eyes of a 13-year-old with no budget to trying to control my adult budget, going to the National.
It's definitely a difference between those two. Because I'll tell you, my first one, I was about 13 as well. It was 1997 in Cleveland. And going to a single day and walking in with only $25 to spend versus, now being 42 and a little bit more than $25 to spend. It's like, oh, it definitely changes your perspective on, what you're able to get, what to look for, all that kind of stuff. And it's always makes it a little easier the more you've got there to be able to work with. But anything big that you're specifically looking out for when you're there this year?
I think I want to hit up the baseball card exchange booth, get a feel for, I want to open some old nostalgic wax while I'm there. Looking forward to our Thursday meetup at,
Yes.
Is it still at Maggiano's?
I forget the name of it. I've mentioned it throughout the show here, but I'll send you all the details there and everything.
Yeah,
with
no
it.
worries.
So,
But I'm looking forward to kind of mixing it up with other collectors. I think if I could find some right priced, I feel like I'm in the market for maybe like a George Brett rookie or a Robin Yount rookie. Those are things I feel like my collection is absent of.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have a real big shopping list. I've been trying to build my items to be signed list, been kind of shopping around for things that I feel unique that aren't too difficult to come by at the same time. So waiting for a couple of the old Topps folders from the late 80s to come in. Those are always nice to get signed. Sometimes you luck out with a nice big signature on them. But I've been trying to stay steady with sending out through the mail requests and, still staying true to kind of a long shot focus. I've sort of deviated from or still try for maybe the more difficult folks. I'm still working on kind of desirables from the 83 through, I'd say 90 tops. For some reason, I didn't jump on the 87 bandwagon, but still trying to pick up things through there. But I think the mailbox has been a little bit slower. I don't know. It seems like there's been a big influx of people sending out a lot of requests. Maybe I'm my own worst enemy. I'm getting folks to target some long shot folks, but still had some wild responses since I've been on the podcast last. I try to document all of them on my Instagram page. That's been going since February of last year. And it seems to get some new followers every other day or so. I think I should have looked before jumping on. I think I'm like scratching the surface on 2,700 followers. That
nice.
A lot of them seem pretty engaged. And, I think when I get what I don't consider a real long shot, but is still something I'm trying to add to my collection, I usually post it to my story. So it's there for about 24 hours for folks to ask questions about. At present, I'm trying to refrain from being an address source. It just gets exhausting with, message after message. And, there's certain folks that have been really engaged since I started that, I still trade information with, and, not trying to be, everyone likes to tag people as a gatekeeper or something, but the information's so readily there. I reference where I got it and, try to be accurate with, dates sent, how many were included, if I got some back unsigned or something like that, try to be accurate with it. But, I try to bury my head and go for the quality over quantity, and really appreciate your shout out on the digest with your Tony Banks return. That was exciting. I've never gotten him back before.
Yeah, I've been having, like I said, I've been channeling my inner Wade here lately with some of the ones I've been getting there. I just, I like used to just fire them out to guys that's like, hey, yeah, why not? Let's try this guy, and I thought, well, why not try some of these UFL guys? They've got a bunch of guys that, were draft picks over the last, 5-10 years or so that are trying to hang on for one last go around there. They've got guys that are former players that are coaches now. And I just went through what I had on hand. I'm like, you know what? why not? Let's fire these out and see what happens. And it's been kind of a, like you've said, that you've had a lower success rate than some on there, but you're getting some decent names of guys that haven't signed in a while. And yeah, I mean, Tony Banks was one. I've got two that I'm going to mention later on in this show that came back recently. They haven't signed at all in the last 5-6 years at all. So yeah, I mean, you never know until you try it. And once in a while, you come with some good ones. So what are some of the ones you've gotten here over the last since the last time you were on 6 months ago? Just some of the bigger names that you've managed to pull in.
I tried to drill down my list. I mean, the ones I was most excited about, I think right around Thanksgiving, I got a really nice Don Mattingly response. And in addition to being a long shot, I risked it with his 84 tops and his 85 Donruss, and they came out gorgeous. Right around that time, I had a Billy Ripken response. I went with the 88 tops, 89 tops, and the 89 Fleer in the blackout version, kicking myself on that card selection, but not sure he would have signed the other one. Right. In December, I had a 389 cards come back from Craig Biggio with a little note on the back of my envelope to be kind, which I suspected might have referred to where it was sent and not blowing up his mailbox. But I had a really cool December response from Jason Giambi with 3 of his early USA cards. Dusty Baker with a really cool 2006 tops in his Cubs manager uniform. Todd Helton did his early tops rookie and tops traded USA card. Got a shocker with 2 personalized back from Roger Clemens on a 86 and 89 tops.
Nice.
And had another Robin Yount return with his 85 tops and 86 Fleer, and used the Harvey's list for most of these, and had a couple come back from Phillip Rivers in the off season. Those were a surprise, a super great add to the collection. Had a couple Willie Randolph returns that must have been out for 6 to 9 months or more. Wow. Personalized, which is great. I don't mind. I enjoy the personalization. Isaac Bruce did 2 personalized on an Upper Deck rookie and a mid-90s tops. Starting to, get into March here. Those first ones were from November. In March, I got my only spring training return, and in full transparency, that was probably one of maybe 80 that I spread out over. Not to say that a couple might not sprinkle back throughout the season or so, but, being a Milwaukee guy on the heels of the World Baseball Classic, it was a Bryce Terang on a really cool Topps Finest that he did in red. And, didn't ask for any specific color, but I thought that one looked great. I had a Charles Woodson response with a 06 tops in the Packers uniform that was really nice. Seemed like a marker that had maybe been run on the side of a car tire for about 60 minutes. But, no complaint. I'll never complain about the quality if it's from a star like that. I mean, I'm assuming the bad marker selection is because he's not sitting around signing much. From home. Got 2 back on Steelers cards from Rod Woodson, and I had been probably 0 for 4 with Eric Davis over the last 2 or 3 years, and I switched it up and got a really big mailer envelope and sent the 89 tops like the school folder, and it came back just with a gorgeous signature on it. I've had some recent success with Con Knuppel, the runner-up and NBA Rookie of the Year. He's a Milwaukee local. And in April, I think it was early April, I don't have the dates in front of me. I had a Monday in early April where Sandy Koufax and Larry David came back on the same day. And I was like, should I just stop sending out right now? But
Yeah, that's one of those like that's like one of those. That's it. I'm done. You can't really top a day like that. My God.
Yeah, it was crazy, and
Jeez.
I remember earlier in the year, or maybe it was in the new year, you had asked some collectors from your Facebook page what their goals were for the new year. And I had
Mm-hmm.
said stronger card selection. And
Yep.
with Sandy Koufax, I shoulda, coulda, woulda sent him my 1965 tops, but I
Mm-hmm.
sent like just the basic call to the hall. Uh, Out of the 2026 tops. I don't know if it's a parallel or whatever. I mean, just a real basic current card, but
Yeah.
it came out beautifully. I didn't share it out on Facebook, but I noticed a couple other collectors screenshotted it from my Instagram page and kind of did you guys see this thing? And
Yeah.
one motivated collector even paid his own money to put it through the outer safe guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that the Sandy Koufax was good. So, I
Nice.
mean, I think that alone justifies like any of my stamp spend, for half a decade probably. I don't know
I
if
mean,
I'll ever.
Koufax is charging like $500-600 a signing minimum nowadays. So yeah, getting that back free on a request. Yeah, that makes up for a
Yeah,
couple rolls worth of stamps right there.
yeah,
Jeez.
completely wild. I've been recently I think the most fun ones that came back in the last month, I had a Javi Lopez
Mm-hmm.
return, which for any early, mid, late '90s baseball fans, he's a pretty notable heavy home run hitting, talented
Yep.
catcher name, part of some productive Braves teams, and
Yep.
uh, I was really laughably motivated to send to the Mad Hungarian when I
Oh
saw
yeah.
him join the Tarps Off movement
Nice.
in St. Louis. So I was able to dig out and find his, I think it was his 74 tops and either 75 or 76 Kellogg's card.
Mm-hmm.
And he signed both of those. And yeah, I would say for the through the mail, I tried to really highlight none of the guys I mentioned were with fees.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, I do several of the fee guys, and those are exciting as well. I'm trying to put together a 9 card tie of at least some of my favorite Daryl Strawberry cards, and I've
Mm-hmm.
been leaning on Coach's Collectibles, and there was another gentleman from I think he calls himself the Eminal Sports Enterprise in New York.
Yes, Matt Lieben, great guy.
Yeah, he did a post and I jumped on it right away. He had posted that I think it was from the 85 Tops rack packs.
Mm-hmm.
He had a whole grip of maybe 60 or 70 strawberries that he was letting go. And it was you know how the all-star, those like yellow, blue, and red glossies that came in rack packs for the bulk of the
Yeah, yeah, the
80s.
one per pack ones. Yep.
Yeah, so it was a strawberry from 85 that said 84 on it. And
Mm-hmm.
it kind of looks like the image on his 84 Fleer, but
Yep.
I've sent through Coach's Collectibles and had done, I think, the 83 tops traded,
Mm-hmm.
84 Donruss that I pulled out of a Christmas gift to myself pack from
Nice.
the baseball card exchange. And I sent in the 84 tops. And like I mentioned before, I've been loosely working on like 88 and 89 tops. So in my decorative scheme, I bought a bunch of those like Ultra Pro 9 card screw downs. I don't think they make them in the screw down anymore. They do
Mm-hmm.
like one snap 9 card, but I had bought maybe a dozen of those 9 card tie downs, and they're kind of spread about my basement and
Yeah.
some bookshelves in the living room, but I have maybe 4 of them filled with Boggs cards that were signed, and I don't have them displayed, so I was like, let me work on a couple of guys that will kind of give some more variety to the collection. But
Right.
Strawberry currently is one that, if he's doing a kind of consistent signing through them, I'm a my fandom's high enough to be willing to load up on those, I guess I'd say. But
Yeah.
yeah, that I'm kind of working my way backwards on Billy Williams from. I think I started with the 65 tops and been having success with him sending $40 a crack
Okay.
to the same address he's been at for ages. But, definitely always focus on a thoughtful handwritten letter. That's been my approach. And, I definitely always, if I write to a guy with a fee that isn't consistent like Billy Williams, I change it up. I don't talk about the same thing every time, but he's been consistent with, I think I got the 65 done maybe in February, and then I got the 64 done and the 63, and I currently have the 62 out to him, and I figured I'd get the rookie done at the National, to just kind of finish it up. And uh, he certainly has some great looking cards after 65, but you could obviously go nuts, trying to do a run on that. And I think I'm kind of late to the party. I remember way back when I was a kid, I was bizarrely into the action-packed cards, and I think I got him on that 91 Hall of Famer group. But yeah, just I'm a big Cubs fan. It's hard to not say that I'm converting to being a Brewers fan living in Milwaukee with all the excitement. There's plenty of it. And when guys like Yount and Bryce Terang are signing through the mail, it adds some excitement. My 9-year-old goddaughter is a diehard Brewers fan, and the compromise that my college roommate, one of my best friends, her dad, and her mom have is that she's a Bears fan like we are. So
nice.
We get the Bears, and I'll meet them halfway with the Brewers. But yeah, I just posted today. I signed up for a nice meet and greet that the Wisconsin Parkinson's Association put together with Jacob Mizorowski.
I was just about to ask you about that. How'd that go?
It was great. I mean, he was nice, saw a lot of smiling faces. I think they sold about 300 tickets, and everybody that went through got signed ball. It was kind of a unique surprise. It was like a representative from the Brewers there to put their certificate sticker on it, and they had a professional photographer there and let everybody download their photos. Strategically, I wore my new 3/4 sleeve, my TTM Gems, Raglan baseball tee. I didn't get any comments out of it. I thought maybe in a line of 300 people there to get autographs that someone might ask what that was about. But, no harm. I do have a good group of those together. I just ordered a wider variety of sizes. So, like I said before, I want to treat everybody that comes to the meet and greet. I think I should have sizes small through double XL for the National. So I want to give everybody who shows up and gets to know the community. One of those at a minimum, but also kind of get to know what they collect and what they're looking for. Because I think as everybody's collections evolve, you have a handful of things that, maybe aren't as meaningful to you, but would do something for somebody else's collection. So, I definitely want to pay it forward. I don't have any duplicate Kofaxes or anything like that. But I'd be happy to help somebody, try to work on a set or,
Mhm.
get some things going. I traded some communication with a gentleman on Facebook that he was trying to get a signed card of every person who had ever played in a game with the Brewers. And he sent me his list, and I think I was able to find 17 or 18 of the guys he needed.
Nice.
And I was just very okay. I'm working on these sets. If you got somebody, like, let's go one for one. And I think he traded me a couple Joe Girardis and a couple other guys that I hadn't had success with through the mail that were certainly part of my, boyhood nostalgia or what have you.
Yeah.
And that part of it's, growing to be a lot of fun as well.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely great there that you're offering up the shirts there. So if you didn't have a good enough reason to come and hang out with all the TTM cast crew, now an additional reason right there, talk to Wade, get yourself a shirt there, and who knows who you might find out there that, might have something that you need. And I know this is something that Jeff Baker started with the show 4 years ago when we all went to the National, and we got a few out there then, so hopefully we'll be able to duplicate that this time around, maybe even get even more out there. But definitely a very generous offer there to offer those up to our listeners that are going to be out there.
Yeah, sure thing.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to cover in there, because we got through all your latest TTMs there and everything. I was going to mention, it's Giordano's was the name of the place that we're going to be at there. I did look that up.
Perfect.
So, yeah. But you mentioned the spring training returns that you're 1 for 80-ish so far, but yeah, like you're saying, some of those might come in, there's always the all-star break. Some guys may catch up on some mail then. And the last few years, it seems like I see a lot that come back right at the end of the season. Some guys will just grab all the mail and say, you know what, we're just going to wait till October, November, December, or whatever. So you might hopefully get a few close to a year ones in there or something like that in there. But it's always good. And go ahead. Yeah.
I definitely didn't scrimp on the effort. I think a lot of times my effort is strongest, like with the guys I grew up with watching, or players that are just epically great. But I think one thing in terms of letter writing, I've really tried to make everything individual, make everything honest. Like, if there's a reason you're writing to someone, like, try to let them know what that is. Or and I don't know, I mean, I think that the caution I'd give to people who send long shots, like, might want to consider that if your approach is sign these, please, thanks, that might not get past their gatekeeper. A lot of these guys might very well have, staff or someone on their behalf kind of reading through and scrubbing for things that present a lot more genuine. And, I think the effort on a lot of the long shots is not going to be the same that you might have for the automatic fee-based guys. I have a lot of communication with people on Instagram that, they can't believe someone would sign for free. And a lot of the guys that are hugely accomplished, like, money's not exactly their motivator. Like, if they're gonna slow down to take a glance at a few pieces of fan mail, they're definitely looking for the full. I shouldn't say definitely. I don't know. Everybody's different that you send to, and has their own motivations. But I think the more personalized your approach is, the better results you'll have.
Yeah. I know Fred Lynn's wife is his big gatekeeper there, but you'll usually get, just the signed index card there. But if you write a truly personal one, you'll probably get your item signed. And I've had a couple successes with him that way. So
nice.
It definitely pans out,
I'd love to add to my collection.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely worth trying. And Now that you've mentioned, having the paid sign-ins there or paid mail-ins for Strawberry for that Billy Williams has been on there on your radar there, I've definitely got to add those two guys onto my list here to try out here pretty soon because I've got set needs on them. You mentioned earlier in the show here, or earlier in our talk here, Robin Yount, you're looking for his rookie card there. Have you had any success on him? Because I saw fairly recently he did a few signings. I think it was only $65, which, I mean, you compare that to his fellow 1975 Topps rookie there in George Brett. That's, like a quarter of what Brett is charging. So it's like, I might have to get in on that, especially when he's doing the rookie card, I think, for like 75 or something like that.
Yeah, every success I've had with Yount has been no fee through the mail. Nice. I haven't done the signings. I did a Bo Jackson signing through Waukesha Sports Cards for WSC. I don't think they go by the name Waukesha anymore, but they do a good job. I think that Yount might have, whether it's his gatekeeper might prefer postmark Milwaukee, which I'm fortunate to have. I think I got a couple tickets that I bought for him for the National, and I bought the 76 Topps his second year. I really don't like getting cards signed that have a faux signature on them. Yes. So I'm kind of skipping the rookie for him, and I chose to do the same year for Dave Winfield. I figured I'd do a little pocket of those. I bought the Robin Yount 88 Topps folder that I'm anxiously awaiting to come in the mail, so I can bring that to the National. But I'd have to think. I think I've gotten 4 signed cards back from Yount in a no fee, but that was from 2 different occurrences. So definitely had some failures in there. I've definitely gotten Hall of Fame plaque back with can't get to all of these, but I'm sure there's just certain times where people are feeling a little nostalgic or have a little free time on their hands. Maybe their spouse is traveling and they're home with the dog and watching the College Baseball World Series or whatever it is, and they figure they'll get through a few of them. But it's definitely, I mean, to me, a no fee long shot is just a game changer. It changes my whole mood that week. It's definitely what I'm going for.
It's definitely refreshing. I mean, it kind of re-energizes you there too. If you have a string of nothing and then suddenly that one comes in, it's like, oh, all right, this is why I do this, and gets you ready to write 20 more out. Yeah, absolutely.
Last week, I wanted to mention a buddy of mine that I started following his YouTube channel did a little, I sent him a shirt and a couple gifts. He's a big Cubs, Bears, Bulls fan. And I had sent Jeff from A Fine Card Collector on YouTube a couple of things. And he did a nice 13-minute video wearing the shirt, giving me a shout out. But it's always exciting, some folks that I've mailed out shirts to, seeing them wear them in the wild is fun.
Definitely is. Well, once again, this is Wade Bute from My TTM Gems. If you haven't given him a follow yet, make sure you do so. And, well, Wade, we'll see you out at the National there. Like I said, Thursday night at Giordano's. I know you're going to be out there with us, and hopefully we'll get a lot of other collectors out there, too.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Thanks for having me on, Drew.
Absolutely. Big thanks to Wade Bute joining us here in Collector's Corner, as now we move on into Making the Grade.
From the grading lab to your ears, this is Making the Grade.
Making the Grade is a summary of a lot of stuff going on in the grading area of our hobby as we get some numbers from the big 5 grading companies out there. So, Aaron, take it away. What do we got here?
All right, for the week of June the 8th through the 14th, PSA graded 611.7 cards. That's up 10% for them, so nice little clip. CGC graded 156.3 thousand cards, which is down 1% for them. Beckett graded 38.7 thousand cards, which is down 5%. SGC graded 10,000 cards. Nice round number there. And that is up 14% for them. And TAG graded 9,000 cards, which is up 85% for a pretty good increase there. And all in all, in total, there were 825.7 thousand cards graded for the week of June the 8th through the 14th.
And a big thanks to GemRate for providing us all of that info, and they give us the big three.
This week's Big Three is brought to you by GemRate.com. Whose cards are hot and whose cards are cold this week? Let's find out from our friends at GemRate.com.
The Big Three gives us a chance to look at individual players and their grading trends over the last couple of weeks, so those that are moving up the list and those that are moving down the list as well. First off, looking at the risers here, David Ortiz, Big Poppy, coming in the number one spot this week. His grading was up 78%. Coming in second place, Ben Roethlisberger, 77% increase on the former Steelers quarterback. And bringing in the number 3 spot, Magic Johnson, up 63% on his grading in this past 2 week span as well. Well, we don't have an ultra-modern player here in this most recent 2 week window, so let's keep it semi-old school here and look at some 89 Griffey rookie card. 554 copies of that were graded by PSA over the last 2 weeks. Out of those, a whole one copy of those 554 was graded at a 10. Activity on that was up 30%, though, over the previous 2 week period. So always good to see the 89 Griffey still very popular among collectors. Aaron, on the other hand, who do we have moving down the list right now?
It's very interesting, right, to see a bunch of legends from, mostly my childhood on the up list. Well, falling, we have all current players. And that would be starting off, we have Paolo Banchero, former, current Orlando Magic's player. He is down 18%. Keontae George is down 20%. And let's do some baseball to round it out, because Padres star Jackson Merrill down 22%. The Rangers beat the Padres last time, by the way. It was a crazy game. The Padres scored five runs in the first inning, and I was going to turn it off. And then the Rangers scored 6 runs in the bottom of the first inning. So lots of offense for some reason going on in that game. And Jackson Merrill rounds out our list. None of that has anything to do with anything. It just reminded me. And Jackson Merrill is down 22% to round out our list this week.
It was funny. We were sitting there, following the game a bit there last night, and saw the 5 runs get put up, and I said, well, hey, maybe Merrill will claw his way out of this bottom spot with a nice game. How did he do in that 5-run inning? And Aaron looks and he goes, he grounded out. So, pleasant. So that did not help him much. So there you go. That is this week's, or this fortnight's Big Three, courtesy of GemRate. You can follow them on Twitter, on Instagram, all those places to get all their numbers at GemRate. And if you want to dig really deep into some numbers with them, go on their website, gemrate.com. Meanwhile, now it's time for the stamp of approval.
I bet you're wondering who earned this week's TTM Cast Stamp of Approval.
The TTM Cast Stamp of Approval is a chance for us to just look around and give a thumbs up to something, anything. Could be sometimes collectibles related, sometimes sports related. A lot of times it's not. This time, though, mine is indeed sports related, and it's everything that has been going on with the World Cup. There have been some really fun stories that have been coming out of all this, with a lot of foreign fans coming into the U.S., especially here in the Dallas area. I don't know whether there's any games going on, but, AT&T Stadium here, or Dallas Stadium, as they have to call it right now, has been playing host to a few games. And we've had British fans who came in for the England versus Croatia game, and they literally went and drank a pub dry. Like, they ran completely out. They said, I think they sold $40,000 worth of beer. I think it was like 500 gallons total that they had on hand, and they were tapped out literally at the end of the day there after that game. So British and the crazy thing is, no arrests from this, no problems or anything like that. Just a bunch of happy drinkers, it seemed like, out there among all the English fans. So always good to see that. Meanwhile, up in Boston, Scottish fans went to the Sam Adams Brewery and drank the brewery tap house dry as well. To go along with that, they then went down to Providence and had this big session singing to the kids at the Children's Hospital in Providence, and made a $10,000 donation to it as well. They said it's one of the biggest donations I believe that they have ever gotten there for the Hasbro Children's Hospital. Japanese fans are known for going around and cleaning the stadiums after they go and watch games there. They have continued on with that as well here, and even fans of the teams they've played against have joined in with them in cleaning up the stadiums as well. Lawrence, Kansas absolutely loves Algeria. Algeria has been coming in and doing all their training sessions in Lawrence, Kansas, of all places. And Kansas, not exactly known as a bastion of, I don't want to bash Kansas too much here, but the state itself is not exactly known as a bastion of progressivism here. But Algeria, a majority Muslim country coming in, their team doing the training there, and the fans in Lawrence, Kansas, absolutely hugely supportive of them, love the Algerian players. They've had a great relationship with them here this week, so great to see that going on there. The world has discovered ranch dressing as well. They are absolutely loving it, to the point where the FAA has had to tell people, hey, look, if you're bringing ranch dressing home, put it in your checked bag. You can't bring it through the inspections there and everything there, as it's a liquid. You can't have a liquid on the plane or whatever there in your carry-on stuff. So yeah, taking your ranch dressing home, the world has discovered that and loving it, and packing your regular check bags. South Korea and Mexico fans have become best friends apparently now. There have been videos of them doing Gangnam Style dancing together and sharing tequila, and it's like, all right, that's a great combo right there, I'm sure. And so it just shows the world does not hate America; they just hate our government, is all it seems right now. So great to see that. And it's been a lot of fun seeing all of that throughout this World Cup. And the crazy thing is we still have a month left of hopefully more stories like that yet to come. So, Aaron, what do you have as your stamp of approval here for this week?
It's funny that you mentioned all of that. Yeah, and I've seen a lot of stories about the World Cup, and it seems like a lot of really wholesome things going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always good to see. I mean, mostly the news is terrible stuff, and so it's good to see a lot of people coming together, just in enjoying sport together, and I think that's really when it's at its best, right? That's
Definitely.
what it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, what my religion is, what my politics are. Sports brings us together at its very core. It's like you're high-fiving a guy that you would, basically disagree with everything that, he stands for. And it's like, hey, but in this moment, we rally around our shared team and our shared interests, our love of national pride, whatever. And so I think that's tremendous. And last night, as I was on my way home, I stopped at Buc-ee's in Denton, and there are like, I don't know, 30 obviously not American, from elsewhere. I'm not sure. They're all wearing jerseys, but I don't know the jerseys well enough to know, but they're all sitting in the parking lot at Buc-ee's having like the greasiest burger. I was like, you know what? If you're going to come to Texas, do the whole thing, man. Like, be at Buc-ee's at midnight, chowing down on a burger in the parking lot. You might as well enjoy it, but the ranch
There have been
dressing
so
thing
many. There have been so many videos of people posting from Buc-ee's, just like, this is a gas station. What? Hold on a minute. Whoa, hold on. No, this isn't a gas station. What is this? Is what the hell is this kind of stuff like? And yeah, that's been fun too, because that's a distinctly Texas thing too, because they don't really have it. It's starting to expand out a little bit there, but yeah, it's definitely. Only the fans that have been at the games in Houston and Dallas have really gotten to experience that, and I'm sure the ones up in Seattle and Boston and Kansas City are like, okay, how can we get down here? We've got to try this out now. So yeah, this has been fun. Anyways, continue on. What do you got there for yours?
Yesterday I had some time to kill, and that's why I was working in Plano yesterday, and so I was there for a gymnastics workout that ended at noon, and then I was waiting on you to get over there so we could graph the game, and so I had like roughly 6 hours to just do as I please, and so I started my that time by grabbing lunch at one of my favorite spots. It's called Wolf Burger, and I don't know if they've got several of them in the DFW area. I think it's like a local chain. I don't think they're corporate. But it is fantastic. They have one of their signatures is they have a red bun, and so it's a little bit distinct. They call it the Wolf Burger Special. That's what I get. It comes with two patties and melty cheese and pickles and onions. It's in their special sauce. It's great. And so you can get that. They've also got a vegetarian option, I believe. But yeah, I even added a patty, so I had a triple Wolf Burger special yesterday. And you got to get yourself some Wolf Ranch to go with the fries. Fries are seasoned perfectly. So yeah, if you're in the DFW area while you were swinging by Buc-ee's, after you do that and get yourself some beaver nuggets or whatever they call them, then swing by Wolf Burger. Do the whole Texas experience.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, especially if you come from overseas, you might only get here once. So yeah, go all out, of course. There you go. So there you go. That is this week's stamp of approval. Sorry, I had some audio issues on my end here. I'm trying to figure it all out there. So I'm like all flustered now, but I think I got it figured out. I could finally hear you again, but it was definitely my end. It's fortunately not a production glitch, I don't think. But there you go. That is this week's stamp for approval. And now let's move on in to the Vern Rapp Minute. The Vern Rapp Minute covers deaths in the world of sports, celebrity, music, movies, politics. Anybody that was a good TTMer or a notable name, we try to cover it in here so that you don't accidentally mail off to them, because we've all done that before at some point. First off, leading things off, we've got the hockey world lost Kyle Calder this week. Former member of my Cleveland Lumberjacks. He was a left wing from 1999 to 2010. In the NHL, he was with the Blackhawks, the Flyers, the Red Wings, the Kings, and the Ducks. 114 career goals as a member of those teams, including a pair of 20-goal seasons sandwiched with the lockout of 2005 in between. Kyle was a good TTMer through about 2009 or so. He was 47 years old.
We also lost Alan Closter at the age of 82. He was a pitcher from 1966 to 1973 with Washington, the New York Yankees, and the Atlanta Braves. He had a 4-year gap in between MLB appearances between the 1966 season with Washington and 71 with the Yankees, and he was a good TTMer through last month.
We lost another pitcher this past week, Al Worthington. Long career for him. He pitched from 1953 to 1969, played for both the New York and San Francisco Giants, went then to the Red Sox, the White Sox, the Reds, and the Twins. He was part of the Twins' 1965 pennant-winning team that lost to the Dodgers in the World Series. And he was among the last 5 living former New York Giants. Al was actually a good TTMer through last week even. He was 97 years old.
It's always a shame when those guys pass away who've been so great to the hobby. But I mean, there are some guys that just rock it till the wheels fall off. It's like,
right.
Like the last thing they do is sign an autograph or two. And I mean, much respect yes. for that. And so we also lost Wes Gardner at the age of 65. He was a pitcher from 1984 to 1991 with the New York Mets, Boston Red Sox, Kansas City Royals, and San Diego Padres. He owned a 18-30 career record with a 4.90 ERA, mostly as a reliever in his career. And he was a good TTMer through April.
We also lost John Sanders last week. John was a broadcaster. He spent 1981 to 90 with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and then 1991 to 2006 with the Cleveland Indians. voice of many summer nights for me. He was on the Sports Channel cable feed there for the Tribe during those years. It was him and Rick Manning handling all of those games. I think it was Manning was on that. Yeah, it was definitely him and Rick Manning, but always one of my favorite broadcasters to listen to. Handled, can't even tell you how many games I can remember that he called and everything, but always a big influence on my own broadcasting as well. I don't know if he was a TTMer at all, but John Sanders was 83 years old.
And lastly, rounding out our list, we have Pat Holmes, who passed away at the age of 85. He was a defensive end from 1966 to 1973 with the Houston Oilers and also the Kansas City Chiefs. He was a two-time Pro Bowler, was a All-Pro also in 1967, and had 30 career sacks. And he was a good TTMer through March of this year.
Well, if you've lost anyone this week, our thoughts are certainly with you as we move on in to our TTM returns.
Was our mailbox full this week? Let's take a look at this week's TTM returns.
Well, it's been a fairly light couple of weeks here for both Aaron and myself. We can count on one hand our combined autograph successes via the mail here. So definitely good to have those in-person successes to go along with those to help bolster things a bit. But I'll do mine real quick here, and we'll get into Aaron's after that. But I had a couple more UFL successes. Like I said a couple times, I mailed out about 30 or so to former players that are now coaching there, as well as several active players as well. This time it was two of the guys that are now coaching that came back. Martin Bayless, former defensive back for the Chargers and the Chiefs, signed the 4 cards I sent to him in about a 2-month span. He's a very rare TTMer, I found. I don't think I think SCN had his most recent success had been like 2019 before I got this one back. And I also got back Donnie Abraham, former corner for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New York Jets. He took a month to sign 4 cards for me there as well. Very happy to add those ones in. Fairly quick turnaround on those. And finally, in the opposite of quick turnarounds, I got back from Canada Bob Rouse, former defenseman for, let's see here, it's the Capitals, the Maple Leafs, the Red Wings, the North Stars. I did have to look at the card there to make sure of those. I knew 2 of them off the top of my head, and I was pretty sure about a couple others. But those 4 at the very least. That one took a whole year and a half to come back to me, sent up to Canada, and arrived back finally, but very happy to add that one in. So decent few tough signers right there among those 3. So that's what I got. Aaron, how'd your couple weeks here go?
And so I only got 1, but if you're going to get 1, make it full of set hits. So I got back former Cardinal and Brave Ron Gant. Signed for me through the news network that he's working for in Atlanta now. And he was kind enough to sign 2 of 2 for me. And one of those is a set hit in the 2002 Upper Deck 40-man set. And the other one was a 1997 Thunder set, which I happened to buy like that entire set at a garage sale, like, I don't know, 15 years ago. There was a guy who had the whole set. And so I've been kind of working on that one a little bit too. And so now I've got all of my cards signed by Ron Gant for all of my sets. And so thanks to him, the lone success that I had this week. But yeah, I'm going to get a bunch out before we leave, and we'll start doing this the right way.
I've got to start setting out a few there as well. I've been slacking on that a bit. I mean, I've bought a ton of stamps a while back, and I have cards ready, and I'm like, I'll get to it when I get to it. I'll get to it. And yeah, I think it's time I better get on that here again pretty soon. So we'll hopefully have some more to send out here, both of us. And once again, thanks to Aaron for sitting in the co-host seat, for Ruthie doing all of our production work to bring this from our mouths to your ears, and to Wade Bute for joining us here in the Collector's Corner segment. Our next show is going to be July 4th. Les Wolf is going to be on there. We're going to be talking a national preview, as of course that's coming up at the end of July. So we'll talk about that with him, what he's going to have in store, what some of the other people he knows might have out there, and all that kind of fun stuff. Aaron, anything else here before we go ahead and wrap this one up?
Like you said, it's a month till the national, so very exciting time. Looking forward to seeing everybody out there. Looking forward to getting the last couple graphing outings out of the way before we leave. But yeah, it's going to be a fun time. So yeah, we'll look forward to seeing y'all down the road.
Well, there you go. So we'll see you at the national, of course. Make sure you RSVP for our meetup on Thursday of it. As we wish you many happy returns, we'll see you next time on TTM Cast.
Everyone, be good.